An extraordinary piece of maritime history has been returned home to the Isle of Wight this morning. BRITANNIA was built in Cowes and back in 1968 was the first ever boat to be rowed across the Atlantic. John Fairfax set off from the Canary Islands on a 5,300-mile journey to Florida. It took 6 months. As Roger Finn reports, his trusty vessel is now being rescued from obscurity.
Into the sun, after years buried away in a boatyard in Christchurch. BRITANNIA was designed by Uffa Fox and built at the Lallow boatyard in Cowes. She's made of pure mahogany and able to right herself in just a few seconds. The man behind her rescue is Matthew Winter.
I really got inspired by the story of John Fairfax, who seems to be totally crazy to attempt this single-handed Atlantic row, and I think at the time everyone said it was impossible and it was just suicidal, but you know, he managed it.
John Fairfax had no rowing experience when he set off. Contrary winds meant he ended up rowing about twice the point-to-point distance. One of those there this morning to see BRITANNIA off to the Isle of Wight was Sylvia, John Fairfax's former partner.
I think it's pretty gruelling, and he lost an awful lot of weight. And I think most of it must have been pretty boring. And your priorities all change at sea, and he had some quite strange experiences on the way.
One of his experiences involved an encounter with a mako shark while he was underwater cleaning his boat with a knife.
As he came with mouth open, I tried to stab him on the nose. I was underneath the water, you know. He swerved, and accidentally, the knife went into right behind his mouth, and I slashed his belly as he swam away.
He arrived in Florida to an emotional reception, the day before the Apollo 11 astronauts walked on the moon. BRITANNIA will now be housed in the Classic Boat Museum in Newport. Roger Finn for BBC South Today.
Let's move on to the weather now. Mike Powell is here, and it's feeling a lot colder again out there.
It is, Alan. Brass monkeys weather. Meteorologically, we might be in spring, but winter ain't finished with us yet. It was a cold, bright start, but we've got some